Hey yo, it's time to roar, get loud, let's ignite. Jeremy B in the house, we keeping it tight. Every weekday at 11, we ready to ride. Lions Talk Live, come and join the pride. Waking up early, it's that morning grind. Tune in to the show, leave the troubles behind. Jeremy B's the king, with the voice like thunder. Every word he spits, it's a lyrical wonder. Got the lions around, sharp and fierce. When we hear one pride, you can't help but feel your heart pierce. Talking all the topics, keep it real, keep it raw. With a lion's mentality, we're ready for the roar. One pride, it feels right. Jeremy B bringing the heat, morning light. Every weekday at 11, we taking flight. Lions Talk Alive, yeah, we ready to bite. One pride, hear us loud. Jeremy's in the zone, making us proud.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
Let's get it out of the way now, boys. There we go. How's it going? How's everybody doing tonight?
Breathing.
Good. Tired.
Yeah, tired.
Thank you, Ricky.
What up, Ricky?
Let's go.
Good to see you, brother. But, you know, there is a little bit of news. Another OC was possibly hired today, and that is for the Falcons. Tommy Reese is expected to be the new OC for Kevin Stefanski there.
He just followed him over from.
That's like a Harbaugh deal where Todd Monken followed Harbaugh to the Giants.
Right. I expected that.
Mike.
But that was released by Rap Sheet at 4:26 this afternoon, the follow hire of Tommy Reese. Oh, had better days, had worse. I'm not going to get into it now because the worst part of it hasn't happened, but we expect it. Family-wise, all I can say is my family needs your prayers. Especially my cousins, my uncle's daughters, the two oldest ones. On Christmas Eve, their mother that was fighting cancer for 6 years passed away. And here it is less than a month later, and it's looking like he's going to. So, prayers up for my family. Absolutely. Robert Neal Lilly, 76 years old. Turned 77 on January 5th. Second best logo behind the Red Wings, of course. Amen. Yeah, you know, let's revisit back in 2021. Everyone was upset we hired Dan Campbell instead of Robert Saleh. Remember that, BA?
Hey, I was one of those Lions fans. I didn't give a damn. Just hire somebody. It's going to work out whatever way it was going to work out.
It's your turn, Ken. Hit it. You've got the same soundboard.
Oh, wait a minute.
No? There we go.
I had to find the right key.
Megan, good to see you. The link is in the chat if your husband's home. If not, I get it. I know he started a new job and he's kind of busy.
What up,
But
Megan?
it's good to see Smoking Dad, Megan, Ricky, Nick, MDE. I'm going to go that way because it's a lot harder to say Michael Ditton Edwards and have it come out right on closed caption.
All right.
It said everything but your name a couple times. Ken is cool other than that whole Chi-Town stuff.
Born and raised, baby. Born and raised.
Yeah, you can deal with them once in a while.
But like the rest of the NFC North, they won the division. Congrats to them. They're on the couch and headed to Cancun.
We gave up on Cancun. We prefer better vacation destinations. We're going to cross the water to Cozumel, the island, where there's less cartel activity. There we go.
Okay. Either way, you're still heading to Mexico.
Yeah, we're going to Mexico for some Coronas and some good ceviche.
Amen. Adam won't be joining us because they're doing their show about the Steelers a little late. He might be jumping in towards the end of the podcast.
Oh, and his job is still killing him too.
Yeah.
Now it's a job with the weather. That poor man is just dying.
That would be funny, and I think Jamie would hate it. The Bills interviewing Anthony Lynn for head coach.
Yeah, I did see that.
Not until Saturday. They did their first interview was Joe Brady right now. They're not interviewing Lynn till this weekend.
Oh, here's some other news. Speaking of the Bills, since your last show, the Bills did make their GM like higher up. They gave him like a promotion.
Yeah.
Yes, to President Foot.
And we got a newbie.
That's correct.
All out Broncos, 1858. Broncos percentage chance of winning. I'm going to put it at 35% because if that defense can make it so the offense doesn't have to do that much, they can win.
If you stick with us to the end of the show, you'll even get our game predictions.
Yep, and we will be doing that towards the end of the show.
Hey, JB, can I do a Bills rant for a quick second here?
Absolutely.
I don't get this. Buffalo. What the hell, man? You're in the window. You've got a coach who's been highly successful. You've lost games in the past to guys like Mahomes, Jackson, phenomenal quarterbacks. Your defense would give up the score after Josh Allen did Superman stuff and would put you ahead, and the defense would find a way to fall apart, get beat, whatever. But sometimes it's just Mahomes doing Mahomes things, and you were going to beat them no matter what you did. Then you get this game. You've got your quarterback in tears saying, this is 100% on me. I screwed this up. I made bad decisions. I made bad throws. This is on me. And what's the Bills' reaction? Let's fire the most successful head coach we've had in almost 20 years. And while we're at it, because we're so smart, we're going to take our GM who's missed on 51 of 53 draft picks since he's been here, and we're going to fail up and promote him. What are you thinking, Buffalo? You just slammed the door shut on your own window.
So, Woody, I did send you the link if you want to join. Rob Haspel's Matt LaFleur manages a game about as well as Nicholas Maduro manages a country and his security. Speaking of coaching needs.
Yeah, I don't get Buffalo, man. Dude, I can get the Steelers. I can get the Ravens. I can get these guys who are there forever, maybe whatever. But this Buffalo deal, McDermott, the players love him. The fans love him. Everyone loves him. He's a good coach, winning record. This one just didn't make sense. And it would make sense if you fired the GM, who, by the way, did no trades to help out your offense, didn't help you out in free agency much at all. Let a lot of good talent walk. Couldn't draft for shit, and I don't count Allen as his draftee, to be honest with you. And you promote him, and you fire a highly successful coach.
There's only two coaches that really make sense for Buffalo if it's a true upgrade. I mean, Flores, maybe you could argue that, and then I think Tomlin.
Well, Flores is out anyway because Minnesota just extended his contract. So.
Yes and no, BA, because the fine print on that one was it's a contract contingent on him not getting a head coaching job.
Yo!
He's not going to do it anyway.
Yeah, but Ken.
Ken, I'm going to tell you the reason why he's not going to do that anyway, because he'd have to give up his cases.
Yeah,
and if he gives up it's a moral decision. He's not going to do that.
I think I posit the only way he does nuke his own court case if it was Pittsburgh, because Pittsburgh, you're going to get probably a decade to 15 years out of that job, right? Otherwise, I don't see him nuking his case.
Well, he ain't going to do that either. It's a morality issue. If he takes the head coaching job, it's a hypocrisy for him to do that, even if he's got to drop his cases. So he's not going to do that. And Minnesota just made sure of that, basically.
I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree. I'm saying, like, if there would be one job where he would consider to do it, that would be it. Any other job, I don't think he would do it.
College coaches don't translate to the NFL, Woody.
Well, let's look at this. Signetti, like 24 other assistants that was in the Saban coaching tree. Only 4 have came to the NFL, and all 4 have went back to college. They do, and just like Saban, when he left Michigan State to go be the Dolphins coach, they fell apart. So
Yeah, I think Signetti also signed an extension during this season.
Big extension, lots of guaranteed money.
So he ain't going nowhere.
And if he leaves in the first year, he owes the bonus from this year back on that guaranteed money is the way that works. And we got BCP has entered the house.
What's up?
Yes,
I did hear
Will? I love what Baker said. He goes, after talking that shit and tossing me aside like I was trash after getting them into the playoffs and winning a game, their first game in forever, I can't wait to play them twice a year.
I love that from Baker. That moxie is what Baker's been about ever since he did the Oklahoma. Was he the one who did the Oklahoma stab of the flag in the middle of the field?
Yep. He was the one that started it.
Yeah. That moxie's awesome.
I do think, though, wherever McDermott goes, I have a sneaking suspicion that Dable will go with him. And I have a sneaking suspicion they both end up in Vegas. Who's going to take back number 1 and have $100 million in free agency cap money to spend?
No, he did not want to be traded by the Browns.
No.
He was asking for an extension. The Browns decided to trade for Watson and cut him.
Yeah, I believe that. I believe that Dable actually is in the running for the Bills job too.
Yes.
He is, but I'm saying if Dable doesn't get a head coaching job, I wouldn't be surprised if he's with McDermott, and I think Vegas would be the perfect place for both of them. First off, Vegas is very attractive with the $100 million number 1 pick, but for Dable, it would let him, if he does not get a head coaching job, it would showcase his ability to take the number 1 draft quarterback and do good with him and make him the belle of the ball for the next cycle. You know what I mean? So if he doesn't get a head coaching job, it would be a perfect fit.
I know Green Bay was looking at McDermott as a DC.
I love this comment from MDE. Signetti is tied to IU more than Sydney Sweeney's dresses are clinging to her skin.
You're not wrong. I heard a weird rumor, and it was Rex Ryan, who I think he's a pretty good commentator. He said Bill Belichick should go after the Bills job. I'm like,
I don't listen to anything Rex Ryan says. That guy is that guy.
Buffalo Bill fans would never do that.
No, nobody said Rex Ryan is the biggest idiot to ever coach in the NFL, and all of a sudden he's on ESPN, and we're supposed to take his news like it's gospel. Yeah, right.
Rex
Ryan has no more credentials to do what he's doing than Don Lemon does storming a Minnesota church.
Hey, to be fair, Rex Ryan didn't make the gesture.
Okay, now let's let him at least finish his take before we bash it.
So,
nobody listens to that guy anyway.
Like I was going to say, he would never take the Bills job. And plus, Bills Mafia doesn't want him because of what he did to you guys numerous years in a row.
Yeah, but look at what he did to other teams. He's a clown. He makes a joke out of everywhere he's been.
The only thing Rex Ryan ever did was good was that Motorola Razr commercial he did way back in the day.
Coaching the Bills.
That's it. The only good thing he ever did was that Motorola Razr commercial. Remember, he flips the phone open, it goes out his hand, sticks in the side of a truck. That was the funniest damn thing and the only good thing Rex Ryan has ever done, and it wasn't even football related.
I don't know. I think I'd give him some credit for the job.
Yeah, I think I will say this: if Rex Ryan did take a job, I think it would be like a DC of the Lions. If anything, the way he defends us all the time, you got to admit. He defends this team more than anybody on that panel.
Yes, he does.
I know one thing. If he does get hired, they're going to have to put some kind of polarizing filter on the TV so his teeth won't fucking blind your ass.
Yeah.
By the way, Jordan, I love the mustache, Jordan. I love the facial hair, Jordan.
When's Dan Orlowski being an offensive coordinator?
Not happening.
No.
No, but
as soon as he starts stepping out of the end zone the wrong way.
what he said, though, made sense when he said it, because it was suggested on the Pat McAfee show by the assistant in the production booth. And they brought him in and they asked him the question, and he said the right answer. No matter how you feel about Dan Orlovsky as a player, he said the right answer as an analyst. I would love to coach the Lions. I love Jared Goff. He has defended Goff a lot of times this year. He goes, I love the Lions organization. I would love to coach this team. I would love to be the offensive coordinator. That is the right thing. Oh,
I'm sorry.
No, he won't. He won't.
But at the
same time, we have seen this plenty of times before, where a bad QB in the NFL becomes an analyst, gets a job as a coordinator, and does pretty damn good because
Kellen Moore.
Those who can't play, coach.
Yeah, but Orlovsky.
I'll give you a perfect example in your own division. Kevin O'Connell.
Yep.
Kellen Moore is a good example too.
But at the same time,
the thing about him, like Orlovsky, he can't coach, so he commentates, and it's easy to armchair quarterback it after the fact. I'd love to see him try to do it at point of impact. I don't think he could. He's just look, and he's in his niche he's made for himself in the commentating world is going to make some way more money than he's ever going to make as a coach. So I mean, he'll never.
Why would he torture himself by doing that?
Right.
So when you look at everybody that the Lions did interview last week, and there was 7 of them, we didn't get to hear that they called Drew Petzing in because he wasn't one of the big names out there, but he was available. We bring him in. They do one interview. He nails it. And he nails the fit that Dan Campbell wants. He's a run-first guy. His RPOs are not predicated on an athletic quarterback. It's predicated, it's more of a play action if you actually look how he runs it. Because Jacoby Brissett is not the most athletic quarterback in the world either.
And neither is Jared Goff. That's what I'm saying. That's a perfect fit.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll see.
The Browns could get Jim Schwartz.
He
should be the coach of that because nobody else is going to want to coach that damn franchise.
But
he actively said he wanted to be the coach, so that's why they gave him an interview.
In the coaching carousel, I think the one team no one wants to coach more than the Browns, believe it or not, is Arizona.
Right.
I don't know why though. They have some talent.
They do, but they're the redheaded stepchild of the West.
I guess it's because their division though is so hard. Maybe that's why.
It was kind of like this division and why it was so hard for Chicago Bears to get the right coach for so long after letting go of Lovie Smith. Ken knows exactly what I'm talking about. The talent was there in spots, but it wasn't a team. There was no chemistry. Do you agree with that?
Yes, but there's a second piece to that. So you've got that part, and then you've got the part like Lovie Smith. Even he was not a complete success as far as I'm concerned in Chicago because he never got the right OC. Had he ever gotten the right OC, like Gase unfortunately was a couple years after he left. If Adam Gase had been his OC, right, then the Bears would have been, oh my God. That's the thing. The Ben Johnson thing worked this year. Why? Because Allen's a good defensive coordinator. So with these coaches, it's 2 things. One's the player personnel, that exactly what JB said. The second piece is, man, you got to have the right yin to your yang, or it's never going to work out. Eberflus, exact same thing. Had the talent, had a good defensive mind, but his offense, he never had a good OC, and that's why we really suffered.
I don't think it has legs. I think that was a big rumor that was written by an offbeat piece by one of those rookie writers trying to make a name and get clickbait for himself. Because that's what it looked like to me. Because when I looked at the article,
and what's the hardest position? I'm sorry, JB. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
When I looked at the article, I had more pop-ups in that article than I do off of the South Florida Tribune, and the South Florida Tribune has enough of them when I write for them. And that's a small media site.
And the other piece of this, JB, is that, like you just talked about the head coach and getting it right and how long it takes. Well, guess what? The same thing's true with the quarterback. How long? Another thing I'm very familiar with. Why would you take a guy who's won the league MVP twice and trade him to the Raiders for a bunch of draft picks when you're also getting a new head coach? You can build around Lamar. Lamar's going to be around for another 6, 8 years. I mean, you're going to maybe do 2 rebuilds around him yet. Like quarterbacks have a life expectancy of 2 or 3 full team rebuilds, if you think about it. So you can tear your team down and build it back up and leave your stud quarterback. You just got to make that he survives it. And so it makes no sense to me why you would do that. It's like I've heard, Allen should request a trade from the Bills. Why? Even if they're going to do a complete implosion, tear that team down, they'll rebuild it around Allen. So they're never going to trade out.
The only argument that I would say the whole Lamar thing is Lamar is getting near that age where his athleticism is going to decline.
It already
so then
has,
you wonder,
if you look
does he
at it.
become like Michael Vick?
And he's had these injuries this year on top of that. So,
but guy you can look at was Michael Vick, and look how good of a pocket quarterback Michael Vick was towards the end of his career. So if he makes that transition,
well, it was weird, and they let him walk out the building after that. Greg Roman actually turned him into a pocket passer that one year. And he had a great year at quarterback, his highest completion percentage, lowest interception, a great win rate. And then they ran into the Bills in the wild card round and got smoked because the defense sucked. Not because Lamar sucked. I mean, but Lamar did throw that awful pick when he had a chance to win the game, throwing into triple coverage versus, I think that was the rookie year for Likely, who was wide open at the goal line and he didn't know he was a goal line threat yet.
I like Michael's comment, but the only problem with your comment, Michael, which is hilarious, is the only problem with that is like when it comes to these things, like guys like, well, Max Crosby, that the money you'd have to eat, Lamar, the money you'd have to eat, guys. When they do these trades, just like they get creative with the money too, in the way that it doesn't hit you as hard as you think it should hit, and then they convert stuff to bonuses. And the one complaint that Mike the Bear fan has, and it's legit, is that $1 spent's not $1 against the cap, because it really isn't. And if they trade Lamar, or if Max Crosby were to get traded, because those rumors, of course, are starting up already, or Garrett were to get traded, or any of these big contract guys, there are ways around that number that makes it more feasible for both teams.
Basically, both teams have to decide how much of that cap are they going to eat in that trade.
Well,
that's what happens.
Proof in the pudding is who's in the AFC Championship right now, the Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
Yep. Denver Broncos.
And they ate all that Russell Wilson money.
And
I'm saying they ate up all that Russell Wilson money.
Don't get me wrong, May is athletic, but he's not burning up the field like Josh Allen either.
I'm talking about the whole contract thing with like
and that's a fair point. And to go a step further, that was on a straight up cut. So when you're making a trade, you're not eating $80 million. You're eating far less.
But I'm saying Denver is like, hey, we'll rather take the dead cap, and they survive with it. So it just proves that you can manipulate the cap.
Well, why were they able to? They got a good rookie quarterback contract to mitigate that loss of money. Look at how much here's the biggest thing. They ended up the winners in the long run. They got all those picks from Seattle. Mm-hmm. They traded away 5 players, 3 of them on expiring contracts that year. You remember that? It was 5 players, one of them being Drew Lock, Noah Fant,
who's no longer on the team.
That defensive tackle who's not there with Seattle anymore, and then 2 other UDFAs is what they threw in. They did 2 throw-in players that got cut before the training camp was over because there was nothing against the cap. Everybody
and then when Seattle got rid of them, when Denver got rid of them, they just ate the entire dead cap because and they were willing to do it. So think about it: if they're willing to eat that much dead cap, $80 million at that point, like to trade Lamar, you're not eating $80 million. You're eating nothing close because you might eat on a trade. If you're Baltimore, you're eating very little, and if you're the team taking them in, you're mitigating that cap size. So there's ways they manipulate that. So financially speaking, any of these big guys are tradable. But then when you go to like guys like Lamar, Josh Allen, quarterbacks, the big quarterbacks, it's a little bit harder because like that is a really hard position to find the guy at. And if you've got the guy, trade him at your own peril because you might not get another guy. The next guy could be 2 decades away for you.
The only difference between though, like Lamar and a lot of these other quarterbacks though, is the Ravens are going to have to go through like kind of a rebuild because their roster's getting old.
So, being through McDermott under the bus for saying he didn't want Keon Coleman or that he wanted Keon Coleman. At the end of the day, who turns in the slip at the draft? The GM, right?
Yeah. And the owner should have the final say.
And the owner should have the final say. And that's why the owner, remember, we were talking about this before the 22 draft, when Trayvon Walker or Aiden Hutchinson with the first pick. One is on upside, one's on the production he did in college. And I sat there and said it a week before the draft, right here on this very show that week. I said, you watch, because the owner wants Travion Henderson due to his upside. That's going to be the pick, because he's going to tell the GM, you make that damn pick or you're fired.
Well, that's the whole thing with McDermott. It's like, and then their GM who's like, dude, 51 out of 53 picks have gone nowhere, and they promote him. I'm like, if anyone should have been fired in this situation, it should have been Dean.
Michael, Sabres are actually doing pretty well right now. So, but yeah, I'll check those. Sure. Thanks for the consideration.
I mean, I don't get how they promote. I mean, here's the one thing I've been waiting to ask Jamie this. Jamie, did Bean have a lot to do with the new building of Highmark or something? Is that why he's getting promoted? Is like he good at that kind of stuff? Because he obviously isn't good at player personnel.
Well, you say that he isn't good at player personnel, but guess what? You ask yourself, how did Joe Shane get his job with the Giants? How did Dan Morgan get his job in Carolina? Because of Brandon Beane. So there you go. And same thing with Brian Gaine. How did he get the job in Houston? Because of Brandon Beane. And guess who came back as the assistant GM? Because of Brandon Beane, the same Brian Gaine. And Brian Gaine got more GM jobs last year. The Jets interviewed him last year. So that's kind of hearsay when you say he's not good at player personnel, yet all these other assistants under him are getting jobs. But I let me finish my point though. I'll say I think they kept them because you also got to remember, here's the difference between a coach and a GM. A coach is the one that calls the plays, right? But notice when you watch him, he's on the sideline. The GM is like the owner. The GM has a box where they get to see the whole field. So they kind of know the players a little bit more. The coach is just coaching, but the GM watches and sees, okay, where do I need to get better? What do I need to do with these players? And I think with Josh, like I said, I think it's easier, like I said, to get rid of McDermott and let the GM see the whole shooting match and let him hire the new coach than to let McDermott start over with the new GM. So,
well, I think McDermott. I mean, I think he needed to go too. I think the GM needed to go too, because usually that's how it usually works. Anyway, the head
we
coach
didn't want to totally blow it up though. We wanted some continuity. That's why.
Right.
Well, let me get to my point here. I think the reason why McDermott got fired, and he should have got fired. McDermott is a defensive-minded head coach. Defense was the problem in the playoffs. Kind of reminds me of the Rick Carlisle thing when he was with the Pistons. Remember, he was with the Pistons for so long, won so many games, and got up to that point, and then they fired him and got Brown, and then they started winning stuff. It's the same thing here with McDermott. He gets to that point, and he can't get there because the defense shoots him in the foot. The offense has never been a problem. I mean, people can say all they want about, they didn't put anything around Josh, but the offense wasn't the problem. The defense is, and they put things.
James Cook, who won the rushing title,
and they put defense around him, and it was unfortunate that they had the injuries when they had, but it's still he is responsible. If you're a defensive-minded head coach and your defense is failing you in the playoffs, that's why you got fired. I don't understand that, but I'm agreeing with you, Ken, because I think Bean should have went with him.
I agree that Bean should have went with them too, because, like I said, I agree that McDermott's a defensive coach, but I also think the defense is very bad because of not just McDermott. I think personnel on defense. So that's why I personally think Bean should have went too.
You also
I think we would. That means we could have promoted Brian Gain maybe.
Who on Buffalo's defense are teams really game planning for? If we think about it, Matt Milano's past his prime. Who else on that defense are you really game planning for?
There was a point where they had
Walker had a good rookie year if he keeps developing.
Yeah, but teams aren't like worried and game planning about him. He's not an Aiden Hutchinson or a Miles Garrett or a shutdown corner. There's nobody on Buffalo's
330-pound defensive tackles shut the run down.
Yeah, but there's nobody your coordinators are worried about it. Hey, this guy's an elite player in the position.
Well, at the same time, they had somebody major injured, starting wise, at every level of that defense throughout the whole season.
Exactly.
When one would get healthy, the other one would get injured in that thing. At one point, they had two of their starting linebackers out for 4 straight weeks, if I remember.
And our defense still finished in the top 10 with a crappy run defense.
And I don't think that's the thing, though, is I don't think their personnel is that good. I think that's why Bean should got fired. I don't think the personnel is that good.
I think I have to disagree with that because their personnel has been good over the time that McDermott has been the head coach. Their defensive personnel has been decent, good enough. They should that 13 seconds. You know what should have got him fired earlier. That 13 seconds that drive took place that Kansas City scored on them, because that's all. That's all defense.
McDermott and Bean got into a pissing match with McDermott over that after that game was over.
Do you guys know how many the last time a Buffalo Bill had 10 sacks in a year?
Probably back in the Jim Kelly days.
Sacks are great.
Sacks in the season. Do you guys know the last Buffalo Bill to have 10 sacks in the season?
Yeah, but sacks are not the end all be all stat. You still have to be able to stop. You still got to be able to do other things too.
I'm not saying that, but you know who the last Buffalo Bill is? Bruce Smith is the last Buffalo Bill to have 10 sacks.
Back in the day when defensive ends played all 4 downs. That doesn't happen anymore because they rotate.
Montez Sweat had 10 this year. And that Bears team had almost no sacks.
But that's the point I'm trying to make. Is I agree that McDermott should have been fired, but I also think Bean should have went because a lot of McDermott's failures were also personnel based. They don't have who on the Buffalo Bills is number 1 or number 2 wide receiver.
I think they got
Shakir was this year.
Shakir's like a number 3. If Shakir was on any other team, he'd be a number 3.
I'm going to back you up on that because if you look at their wide receiver roster, it reminds me a lot of the Packers roster. There's no true number 1.
Mm-hmm.
I think Packers got better wide receivers. Packers got better wide receivers.
Right.
It's everybody eats, bud. Remember that?
Yeah, I understand everybody eats, but at the same time, you look at the Lions roster and they say, "Oh, they don't have a true number 1." I don't care what you say. Amon-Ra St. Brown is a number 1 on almost anybody.
And he also blocks.
Whoever says that is an idiot.
Right.
I know,
but that's my thing. Is
right.
Think about it.
That's what your receivers also have to. Sorry, Jeremy. Go ahead.
And back me up on this. How many times did we hear that from Vikings and Packers fans about the Lions roster that Amon-Ra was not a number 1 wide receiver his entire career?
I agree with JB, but the reason why St. Brown gets that is because he's his size is deceptive. So people don't look at him and go, "Oh my God, he's a prototypical 1 by size and whatnot." But he does it anyways with his skill and his talents, right? And I think that's why first some of it's trash talk within the division, but the other piece is he's not a prototypical big guy. But St. Brown, for some of the physical lackings, if you will, of whatever a prototypical number 1 is, he far more than makes up for it in the way he plays ball.
Let me tell you,
he's the number 1 who could play the X, the Y, the Z, the slot, whatever.
This is how you know the Bills' receiving core is bad when they had to sign Brandon Cooks and McCole Hardman. That should tell you all you need to know.
That is bad.
And I'm going to tell you this. Brandon Cooks had 2 bad drops, and I'm not even talking about the interception because everybody freeze frames it at the point where he started to get control as his knee hit the ground. They missed that half a second before that where the ball was bobbling as the guy got a hold of him.
Yep,
And
I remember that.
And the guy sat there and goes, "There's not enough to overturn the interception
The
because
fact
he was
that the Bills
bobbling it."
that Josh Allen has done so much for so little for so long that he can now do anything with nothing is phenomenal.
Todd
And
Brady,
they get a
except
GM in
for,
there
hey, guess
that
what?
gives him something
Todd
to
Brady,
work with.
except for Gronk and Julian Edelman, who did he have as receivers? It's the same.
I know.
thing.
Well,
I understand. I'm not knocking it. I'm not knocking Josh Allen. Don't take it that way.
Well, no, that neither was I. I mean, you
No.
think about it. Josh Allen has done so much with so little for so long that he can now do anything with nothing. So when they give him something, look out.
And
Well, that's
That was always Dan
Why they call him
Marino's
Superman.
problem.
I mean,
He had,
that was one of the things McDermott threw at Bean before he got fired too. Is he said, "Well, the Jaguars just traded for Jacoby Myers for a 5th-round pick. Why couldn't we have done that?"
Right. Because Jacoby Myers instantly would have been a 1 on your roster.
Oh, yeah.
Or even the guy for Seattle. Look at the impact he's making on Seattle. Shaheed. Why didn't we trade for that? He's our best receiver, and he's like their number 3 on Seattle. But if he's on our team, he's our number 1.
Right. And it goes back, and I heard people say because of certain things that happened this season, because of Leaf when he was out of the lineup for a while, and then we had to use Tesla a couple of games, and then when Leaf comes back, everybody forgets how sure he is on 3rd down. He's almost like Amon-Ra St. Brown on 3rd down for Goff. And so that's why Tesla's production, if you look at it, snap count and receiving targets, when Leaf was in, the targets almost disappeared.
Yep.
And it goes hand in hand. Leaf is probably going to be a free agent this year. We already re-signed the one running back who had better kick return yards. We still have Tom Kennedy, who technically averaged more punt return yards, even though Leaf set the franchise punt return yardage record.
Yep.
And I'm just putting that out there because a lot of fans are going, "Oh man, what are we going to do about this, that, and the other?" I said, stop looking with that closed window of one part of it. We still got the draft coming up. There's free agency. We don't know who we're signing.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Allen did have something before he plays for the Patriots. Oh, that was bad. But anyways, Josh Allen took over that game in Foxborough in that 4th quarter and lit up the Patriots defense that game. Jordan even talked about it in our chat because he's a part of the NFL Roundtable chat I have because he's a regular on here. We talk ball and we try to talk it intelligently in that chat. It's less of a shit talking chat and more of a, hey, let's talk ball chat. Don't you agree?
Yeah,
yes, indeed. Yes.
As much as he likes to talk shit to Vikings and Bears and Packers fans, he still makes it realistic most of the time.
I mean, my biggest thing for shit talking usually is a meme that somebody else created.
Yeah.
Am I wrong? Ken,
I would never make any memes.
Or his shit talking is just 3 letters. FTP.
You know what's great about FTP? I sent it to Jeremy. I sent to everyone. It's the garbage bins that are rolling down the rainstorm down the driveway.
No, that would be LeBum James. He's the king of coffee. Get it right.
Actually, speaking of the Packers, did they hire anybody to replace Hafley yet?
No.
Yeah, they were looking at Sean McDermott. I just mentioned that.
Yeah,
but they're still crying that Ben Johnson said "fuck the Packers." They're still trying.
They're still trying to get
they're still signing petitions to try to make them apologize.
It's about as Bush League as I put
about
up
them
a
wanting
meme.
to ban the tush push. That's Bush League. The
just for
Packers wanted that.
Just
play
for that Green Bay, your ass is going to be at the bottom next year.
Yeah, for the fact you wanted the tush push.
Well, no, BA, they're proving to be the softest fan base in the North because they can give.
That much gets
given back at them, they start crying like little babies.
I got a great question, Ken. Other than the Bears, what was the record of wins and losses only in the NFC North for all three other teams?
Everyone else was 9-8. I mean, you were 9-8. They were 9-8. I mean,
if it
9-7.
wasn't for them being so bad, they had to score 40 points to tie the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, they would have been out. They would have been out. They got in because of the bye. That's how. I mean, that's 9-8, 9-8, 9-8 and 1, or 9-7
If they
and
didn't
1.
have that tie, do you know who technically would have been second place in the North?
Minnesota.
Minnesota, because they had a win over them. They had a win over the Bears.
I mean,
and they
just like the whole way they reacted to the Ben Johnson thing post game. After the playoff game, they're crying like little babies over it. It just shows you they've been given to the NFC North and talking trash and getting in people's faces for years because they were the best of the worst.
Do you guys?
Anyone gives them a dose of their own medicine back at them? Oh my God! But I'm just a mother. I'm a mother. I'm a veteran. Leave me alone. I didn't do anything wrong. Sounds like a protester.
That's not just it, Ken. It's we have 16 championships and we have two Super Bowl, 3 or 4 Super Bowl rings and all these championships we got. We don't care about them dusty ass fucking things.
Right. Well, do you guys think they'll bring Malik Willis with them? Hafley?
We don't.
Barbie looked like Ken ate a bad jalapeno.
That's a good question. I think we were talking about Malik Willis a couple weeks ago. I think Malik Willis, look at Green Bay has to try to retain him. Because
but he's going to be a starter.
They needed him last year. They need him this year. They need to retain him. But Malik Willis, dude, he's like any other guy. He wants to be a starter somewhere. And
that's what I'm saying. He's going to be at least a bridge guy somewhere.
I'm going to tell you where he's going.
Yeah.
I can't.
Indianapolis?
No, New York Jets. You watch. They got more money than any team in the North. They can offer him more starter money. They don't have to go top of the line. They can go mid-level. Give him $25 million for 2 years. That way they can still draft a quarterback this year or next year and let him be a bridge.
Be cheaper than the $40 million they gave Justin Fields.
I say Jets or Miami.
Yeah, I always say Miami because of the connection with Hafley, but Miami is going to need a quarterback. But
I'm saying GMTA right there because I'm not the only one that said this. I'm not the only one I've heard this from. I've actually heard it from Jets beat writers.
The Dolphins doesn't make sense because once again he'd be a backup to Tua, and you could say, but Tua concussions. Like how many games did Tua miss last year?
And nobody knows what's going on with Tua right now.
He missed one, and it was due to his throwing hand.
His whole career is up in the balance right now. So with the new coach coming in there, there's going to be decisions made. They already pretty much kind of said, Tua is not going to be. He's on a thin line right now. So.
Yeah, because
put it this way: the new GM of the Dolphins made it sound like Tua has as much as a chance to start for them as Kwesi made it sound that McCarthy will be starting for Minnesota next year.
Minimal.
Mm-hmm.
So who you guys think Minnesota's going to bring in?
They have to bring someone.
I'm listen to me now because the only reason they're interviewing him is because the quarterback that got him to the playoffs asked for him. Mike McCarthy's getting an interview with the Steelers. If they hire him, they will re-sign Aaron Rodgers. If they don't hire him, Aaron Rodgers will be a Viking if he plays again. Watch.
I think so, huh? I was going to say maybe what's his name from the Colts, but the Colts might retain him.
No, Steve, as usual, you're wrong. That's
Daniel
Jones.
Oh.
But I think the Colts might re-sign him quarterback. So,
in other words, he was hired.
Who?
No, I think he's just saying that's what his take is. Let me check Shefty real quick.
No, nothing yet.
Okay, I was like, wait, what? My phone just went black, so I didn't have any notifications come up, and I'm looking and going, I didn't see this.
No, I think that's what he's just thinking.
Where do you guys think Kyler will get traded to?
Who?
I don't care because I don't like him. Kyler.
Minnesota was one of those teams.
Oh.
Kyler might not even have to get traded.
This is breaking, though. This is breaking from Shefty. I mean, it's not coach, but still kind of big for the Giants. Giants Senior Vice President of Football Operations and Strategy, Kevin Abrams, he's been with them since 1999, is leaving the organization.
Yeah, he's
That's
retiring.
big. That guy's been it for 26 years.
Yeah, you know what's funny? Kevin Abrams. That sounds really familiar. Isn't that a former defensive back?
Yeah, for
You're
Lions.
thinking of
Yeah, for the Lions. Yes. He played for the Lions. I was like, wait a minute.
I think that was more recent than it
It's
was.
not putting evil. It's talking what you hear in the background at the pressers. You know, I read pressers. I get them as often as I can from other teams. You know why? Know thy enemy. What is it?
4 hours ago, well, maybe 5 hours ago, Niners GM John Lynch, that's probably isn't huge news, but he said Brandon Ayuk has played his last game for the 49ers.
That's been out in the
They
wire
were
too.
sick of him.
Yeah.
They were sick of him already.
I got Tyreek Hill retiring at 33 years old and as many leg injuries as he's had the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Do you guys think Aaron Glenn's going to be on a hot seat going into next year?
What's with all these questions, Jordan?
It depends on how his start is next year. If his start
I'm
is
messing
bad,
with
he's going to
Jordan.
probably be on a hot seat.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think they're going to go in the first 6 weeks or so.
Will, have you heard anything new with the Panthers as far as your coaches? Everybody's retained, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, good.
What about your defensive coach? Because I heard he
We
was
retained him. We
you
retained him. We
Okay.
retained him, which is big.
He
Well, not sure.
interviewed with somebody, but he didn't take the job, is what I heard, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. He didn't take
The
job.
Bills were going to interview him, being from
Yeah. He's
Carolina.
not going to
The
Buffalo.
freaking Falcons, dude. For the last
Deshaun
3 years, every year they request an interview with Ian Cunningham for the Bears, who's the assistant GM of the Ryan Bulls. For 3
Is
years
it-
straight, they requested it. Are they finally going to hire the dude or what?
Maybe
JB,
maybe
can I ask
maybe
JB?
McDermott will go back to Carolina. Will
We don't need him.
Okay. What do you got? Well,
I don't remember where I read it, but did I read somewhere? It could be fake. Bieniemy is talking with the Chiefs.
yes.
Yeah, Bieniemy's already been hired as the
they
offensive
already
coach.
hired him as the OC.
Right, because
and-
Matt Nagy went back to college, right?
No, Matt Nagy is nowhere right now.
No, Matt Nagy was he's trying to get an NFL job.
He's in fact, who talked to him? Somebody talked to him today.
It was. I know who it was. I did see it because the Titans were in the running before the Saleh hire, and then somebody else interviewed him. Who was it?
Yeah, we
was
lost
it
the enemy.
was it Vegas?
Yeah,
The enemy
Vegas.
is now the OC.
Because I know they talked to Kubiak too to be an OC, which I if I was Kubiak I'd be hell no.
Not
'Cause
for
I'm-
Vegas.
No.
Yeah, I'm not leaving Seattle to be an OC for Vegas.
No, Kubiak will not make a lateral move. If he does anything, he'll end up a head coach at another bad team.
Yeah, I would say I wouldn't leave to be an OC from Seattle. But
Hey, you know what? Until they have a coaching staff, I don't see that. But good to see you, Bandit.
Yeah, but Jordan, we
He didn't
don't
get it.
need-
Oh yeah, Matt Nagy with the Eagles. That's where it was. Yeah, the OC for the Eagles.
I thought
for OC.
Yeah,
Oh.
because they tried to get McDaniel. McDaniel shut everybody down once he got the coaching job in L.A.
Well, he failed his head coaching interviews, is what I heard. And here's the thing. We all know how eclectic Jim Harbaugh is. We saw how eclectic Mike McDaniels is.
I'm surprised that
I'm surprised that they took him there because their philosophies are totally opposites of each other. Because McDaniels is more of an air raid type of system, and Harbaugh's that north-south ground and pound, beat you into the ground with the running game type of system. I think it may help Herbert, but he needs weapons.
Yeah,
Now,
I
that's
think-
what they
you
said.
can't just
Ain't
be-
your
He's
McDaniel
got weapons.
go for
He needs
You
an
do-
offensive line to stay.
Yeah.
stay
Well, yeah,
solid.
Joe Alton, the tackle should be back Slater, so they should
Yeah.
be.
Well, and you go from sunny
They got-
Miami
they do gotta
to
rebuild-
sunny LA if you're McDaniels.
Both of
I mean, what's not to
They
like?
do got to do a little Bears in Hall inside. They need to rebuild their interior, but their
All right.
tackle should be back.
So it's time to do the review of last week because we are to the AFC and NFC championship game. And lo and behold, the number 1 seeds are still in for both of them. And it's the number 5 seed, the Rams, facing off against the number 1 seed in the NFC. And in the AFC, it's the number 1 versus the number 2. And it's kind of the way I thought it was going to break down the whole time. I never bet against the Patriots once in this postseason, did I, Ken?
Not that I can remember.
Who's gonna run?
Yeah, Matt Nagy did suck when he was the Bears coach. We all know this.
Yeah, he sucked so bad. He was the coach of the year. I mean,
The first
look
year.
yeah, but still, it's not like he sucked. He did have a winning
Yeah,
record. He
I
left
mean, he
Chicago with a winning record, and then when he goes to KC and does, I think that's why he went back to KC. So he got some of that Chicago stink of that last year in Chicago off him, and he did a good job in KC. But he'll get a job.
Well, I mean, that's the same argument you can make for Kevin Stefanski too. He won 2 Coach of the Year, even though he robbed Dan Campbell for one of them. But that's
Speaking of the Eagles, I'm surprised they didn't go after Cliff Kingsbury.
Yeah, where is he? He hasn't interviewed with anybody. What's
Hey.
going on with that?
Maybe he's taking time off.
Okay,
Yeah,
so let's talk about it. We got the Rams going to face Seattle. Who you got, Ken?
So I'm kind of leaning towards the Rams on this. Their defense was really good in Chicago. A high-powered offense. They handled Caleb and company pretty well. Caleb had to make a ridiculous play to tie the game that not many other quarterbacks are making. Sam Darnold's not doing that, put it that way. So their defense was actually really good. They did a pretty decent job with the Bears' run game. So their defense is good, and that's not the problem. The problem is, of course, the Seattle defense. But the Rams were the number 1 offense coming into the postseason. So that's a good strength-on-strength matchup. I like Stafford to make less mistakes than the Ginger Jesus. It's a division game, which also means all bets are off. It's not like it's not as black and white as most games normally are. I think this is a good game. I think LA ends up going to the Super Bowl like a lot of us predicted at the beginning of the year.
Can I say something real quick, JB? I hear a lot of feedback from Jamie's mic.
Oh,
Right.
no, it was just background noise. It's okay now.
Okay.
Anyways, Jordan, who you got?
Who do I want to play, or who I actually have winning?
Who do you got winning?
It's the same, but I hope we play Sam Darnold because you know how Sam Darnold plays when he plays the Patriots. But
So who do you got?
but this is tough. It's a toss-up, really. I mean, they play each other twice in the regular season. They both split. I think Seattle's playing like the better team right now. So the Rams are the more experienced team with Stafford and Vic McVay, but in that loud crowd, I'm going to go Seattle 23-20.
BA?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Seattle. I like Stafford. Stafford's my quarterback. Everybody in this room knows that. But Seattle is just—they're deep. Man, what they did to San Francisco, they just totally just disarmed them. I think that's gonna. You can say stuff about Sam Darnold as you want. You're gonna keep saying that, just like you say, Ken, about the Chicago Bears. You're gonna keep talking about them until they get eliminated, and they're going to be wrong. And this is the same case with Sam Darnold. He ain't going to need to pass the ball. You know why? Because Kenneth Walker's going to be running all over him. So I just don't see the Rams completing that. So I got Seattle winning that game.
Jamie?
Yeah, I think Seattle's gonna run the ball really well against the Rams. Give me Rams 23. Rams 23. Sorry. Seahawks 23, Rams 16.
Ooh, nice. Will?
I've been thinking about this the last few days, but
Neither.
I got the Rams. More experience lately.
Yeah, but I think Seattle will run
Hey, did you guys hear the rumor about this game or about the Rams? There was a rumor going around now. If Sean McVay wins the Super Bowl, he's going to retire. Have you heard that?
I don't believe
I heard that rumor too.
At 40 years old, he's going to retire.
That's why I said, Jamie. I was like, yeah, no. But it's out there.
Yeah, of course it is.
Out there.
Social media is the evil monster that it is.
All right. Myself, I got the Seahawks winning, and I have it more like 27-14. I think they're going to get a passing touchdown. I think they're going to get a running touchdown. And I think the rest of it is going to be Arnold. They tried to get pressure. They were getting close. They did get to him in that first quarter. And guess what? He didn't rattle. He is not the same guy. You know why? Because once that offensive line settled in and started blocking, San Francisco couldn't get anything past them. And the holes that they opened up in the run game was tremendous. And San Francisco's been good against the run. It was the pass that they were bad at.
Game's kind of.
Yeah. Over under, will Rashid Shaheed get a 50-yard return of any side?
Over.
Well, hold up. What part of the game?
Do what?
What part of the game, Jordan?
Either punt or kickoff return, 50 yards.
No, but what part of the game? What quarter?
Anytime in the game, anytime.
Anytime?
Right? The width says
anytime getting a 50-yard punt or kickoff return, 50 yards.
I put $5 on him to be the first touchdown scorer at plus 1150.
Because you got to think he's only played with Seattle, like 7 games, and he already has a punt and a kickoff return for a touchdown this year.
And he's already had a kickoff return versus the Rams as soon as they traded for him.
Yeah, that's a punt return against the Rams.
Yeah, the second time.
Hear my wild one.
Go ahead.
Game, since we're doing wild ones, I got Lake pick 6 in Stafford.
No,
I love it. All right, now what do you got, Will?
Can I go real quick on this one because I've got to bounce.
Okay, go ahead. You want to do the next one real quick?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
All right, New England at Denver. Who you got?
I'm going to go with the kid who went to high school 30 minutes from my house. Give me Drake May and the Patriots.
Right.
Even though the Denver defense is good, that offense is going to struggle with that Bo Nix. Y'all have a great night.
Thanks, Will.
All right,
have a
Will.
good night.
Have a good one, Will.
Jamie, who you got?
The Pats 29-13.
Woo! All right, BA.
I know one of my co-hosts is a Patriots fan too, as well as you, Jordan. And he says anytime they go up to Denver, they have bad things happen to them. I don't see this being one of those times. I think they take care of business and beat Denver. So yeah, that's what I got. I just think what I saw against Houston, that defense, that was enough for me right there to convince me that New England's a better team.
23-19, a 4-point game. That's a nice prediction there, MDE. I'm going to skip to Ken. I'm going to let Jordan go last because this is his home team. Ken, who you got?
I mean, everything tells you that the Pats should win this game, right? Especially the way they played, their defense played against the Texans. But then the flip side of that game almost felt like I was watching the NFC South, like who wants to win this game and not turn the ball over 50 million times. And then, that it was just kind of a mess. Everything says to me, though, the Pats should win this game. But now enter Stidham. And you know what? This is one of those games where your brain tells you that Denver should lose this game, and then something crazy is going to happen. And we've seen this written all throughout NFL history and lore. So I'm going to say it this way, I guess. The Pats should win, but I would not be surprised if Denver wins this game and we get some new lore that happens. And that's about as clear as a prediction. I know it's clear as mud, but I mean, you know what I'm saying, though? It's like,
pick a team, Ken. Pick a team.
So I think the Pats should win it, but I'm not going to be surprised when Denver wins this game either. And that's where this is a weird game for me.
Okay, you can say that about both divisional games, but I mean, whatever.
Jordan?
So,
conference games.
I got the Pats, but I hate that we're playing a fucking backup quarterback. I'll be honest, but I don't like it. It's giving me PTSD from Nick Foles again.
Thank you.
But it's
and it's funny you should say that because I'm going to bring this up. Guess who they brought in as a backup to Jarrett Stidham to help coach him through how to be a good backup quarterback? They brought in Big Dick Nick.
Wait, really?
They signed Big Dick Nick as their backup.
Oh my gosh! If he plays, I'm gonna be pissed.
They're gonna do a Philly special.
Well, yeah, if he plays, I mean, hey, you knocked Stidham out, so that's good. That's points for you.
I mean, that's why this game is so hard because like we've seen this.
I'm trying to come up. I was like thinking about this game ways I think Denver can win, and like there's only like one way I really think Denver can win, and that's like the Patriots just turn the ball over a bunch. Because
last week.
I know J.K. Dobbins is maybe coming back, but they're running.
RJ Harvey is good. J.K. Dobbins as a 1-2 punch with him, it makes that even more potent, and he has been practicing.
They said that before I heard in week 10 or so week 11, they were like they were a top 10 rushing offense, but then since he went out, they were like a bottom 10 rushing offense.
Right. So, it's just like if you look at the Lions wins, they were a top 5 rushing offense. You look at their losses, guess what they were? 30th.
Yeah.
So
another thing is that the Patriots are getting pressure on Stidham like they did the first 2 playoff games. They're going to be in trouble because the Patriots set a playoff record for the first 2 games with 72 pressures. They had 72 pressures in their first 2 playoff games.
Right. The Patriots defense has been getting pressures like crazy too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, both defenses. If you look historically, these 2 defenses are so good. It is hard to pick a winner because defenses win championships. We've said it how many times?
Well, even last week, I mean, look at the offense didn't win the game for New England. The defense did. It was a turnover fest in that game.
And it was the same for Denver. It was the same for Denver.
Well, considering the fact that it was very bad weather in New England, Houston is the number 1 defensive team in the whole National Football League. New England did a very good job. They were ranked 8th overall in defense, so they did their job. C.J. Stroud was the factor in that game.
Oh yeah. He was bad. I mean, and look, give credit to New England. That
that's part of it. That's part of it.
That highlight touchdown catch was something wow. But I mean, now it's another big time defensive matchup, right? This is a game with it's all about the defense, and whichever offense can make the least amount of mistakes will probably win this game.
Exactly. And basically, to quote you have to get Jarrett Stidham has to channel his inner neckbeard.
All right.
Yep.
All he has to do is manage the game, hit crosses, crossing route, and hand the ball off. That's all he's got to do. And if they open the holes, that O-line has been very good at opening holes. They have a good rushing attack when they have both of their running backs, and it looks like they're going to.
Yeah. The only thing so it's good and bad for Denver. They might have Dobbins, but they're not going to have their 2 receivers.
They're not having their number 2 and their number 3 receiver, right? That's
Franklin and
Pat Bryant.
Yeah. Matt Bryant.
The big rookie guy from Illinois. They don't have him.
Yep.
And then
you're back on quarterback, more familiar. Think about it this way, though. I mean, that's an interesting thing, though. Okay, you're out with 2 of your top 3 receivers that normally get first-team reps. You're starting to back up the quarterback who plays with the other receivers who are now going to be the starters this game because of the injuries to other guys. So it might not be the big, well, wait a minute, these guys are hurt kind of thing because he's throwing the guys he's already familiar with.
To be honest, I don't even know who their other receivers are.
Oh, I disagree because May's been under pressure. He's handled it. He's rolled out of the pocket. He's done a lot of things right this year. They're
Yeah,
the number two.
everybody says like, yeah, their defense won the game. Yeah, the defense played really good. Don't get me wrong, but like Drake May still had 3 touchdown passes in the game.
Right.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna
No,
say,
no. I'm not taking anything from your offense. I'm not.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say, like, "Oh yeah, the Patriots won." The defense played really good, but they threw 3 touchdowns.
The first game, it was more the defense than the offense. I'll give you that. But the second game, Drake May had a good game.
Yeah, I mean, he was the first quarterback to throw 3 TDs.
And people forget that there is Travion Henderson there, and there is also your other Stevenson. So you got two really good running backs right there.
But didn't Stevenson get hurt last week?
No, it was Henderson got hurt.
Oh, Henderson, is he going to be okay?
He's active.
Yeah, he's going to play. Yeah, hell yeah.
The Patriots, the only player the Patriots have on their starting offense or starting defense that was a week 1 starter is Mac Hollins. He won't be active, but they said if they win this game, he'll be active.
Another thing too, you got to remember something about Stidham coming in and taking up for the backup role. This isn't a regular season game. This is a freaking playoff game.
Right.
So you're coming in cold to a team that's in a playoff run. This is another reason why I don't see Broncos winning this game.
And their defense is playing hot too.
Right. So I'm going to say this. I think that's why the receivers being out isn't going to hurt Stidham as much because he doesn't have a rapport with them yet.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm getting at there? He's going to practice with the guys that are available, not with the guys
I don't even,
could have.
I'm going to be honest, I don't even know if Franklin and the other kid don't play, I don't even know who the receivers are outside of Sutton and Ben. I don't even know who the other replacements are.
Right.
Like, I don't even know who they are.
Marvin Mims, he's still in. Cortland
then Pat Bryan and the other guy.
Yeah, the 3 and 4 receivers are the one that's out.
Yeah, 2 and 3, yeah. But I'm saying
who were their tight ends?
They still got Evan Ingram.
Peter Lemongello and Claude Henry Schmoot. I have no idea who their tight ends are because they don't use them.
Peter Lemongello.
The Broncos still got Evan Ingram.
You like that one, BA?
Oh, Lemongello, I love it.
Lemongello and Henry Schmoot.
Who would you say?
Like Evan Ingram's their tight end.
Oh yeah, that's right, Anthony Ingram.
Ingram.
Ingram has. Yeah,
they got Ingram, and their backup is a guy from Dayton that played on the Saints a couple years ago. Adam Troutman or whatever. Troutman.
Just the guy.
Yeah, he's their backup. He's not bad. He's like a good number 2. He's not a number 1.
I think, in all actuality, because you look at it, Vegas feels the same way. It's pick'em game. Even with the court for Denver, because of the Mile High Stadium, because of the thin air and how it makes teams get tired, and that is a thing. And we have seen New England go in there and have that happen to them.
Whereas, people bring up the 0-4 thing. Like, yeah, we're 0-4 at Mile High, but also, like, people forget that 2 of those losses were with Peyton Manning as the quarterback.
Yep, I get it, and I'm not knocking it. But one of them was Tim Tebow.
No, we never lost. We never lost to Tebow. We won.
I had to. Sorry.
Yeah, you're not finding that one in there, Jeremy.
What about Brock Osweiler? Brock Lobster?
We're not Pittsburgh. We don't lose to Tim Tebow. Sorry.
Don't say that because Robbie will be on here cussing because he hates Tim Tebow.
And next week we will cover who is the starting players for the Pro Bowl, even though that game matters as much as how much crap did I let out that morning.
Okay,
what matters is how much is Ryan Clark continues to grip on SportsCenter.
Goodness.
I don't wish injuries on anybody. What happens if the Seahawks win and Sam Darnold can't play in the Super Bowl? We get a Jared Stidham versus Drew Lock Super Bowl.
I put on for my city. Drew Lock put on when he went viral for rapping the Young Jeezy.
Yeah, that was funny. Oh, so I want to thank each and every one of you for being here. Thank you, Will Vogel. You didn't get a chance to shout out your channel because you had to bounce early. I'll do it for you. Will's YouTube channel where he covers comic books, sports memorabilia, cards, whatever. is WVlogs18 on YouTube. Go check him out. BA, shout out your stuff.
Yeah, I'm the producer for I'm the producer for McGrath Podcast Network. We got about 12 shows on that network. I actually produced 6 of them. I'm on 8 of them. So just check that out. Just go to YouTube. We have all our shows on there. Just go there and check us. And of course, I'm the producer for them.
Yep.
That's out of hiatus until the draft. And yeah, that's where you can catch me at.
And let me guess, that's on hiatus because everybody you have on there, their team is out of the playoffs, right?
Well, yeah, it's a Lions show.
And a Houston Texans girl. And a Houston Texans girl.
Yeah.
Okay. Jordan, are you going to be firing up Patriots media again?
Probably in a year or two, maybe. Yeah, like I said, I got football and stuff. So once I'm done playing football, I'll probably be going back to the.
Okay, good. I'm glad to hear you're going to get back into it.
Yeah, once I'm done playing football, I'll probably get back into it.
If you pick a night where I'm not doing shows, which there aren't many, I would be happy to join you as a guest sometime.
Yeah, I usually did Saturday nights before, like because I like to do mine later in the week, let all the news get out, like injuries, all that kind of stuff. So I usually do mine Saturday night, like 7 or 8 o'clock.
BA is, as he said to begin with, because he said it wrong, and I'm going to emphasize it, the producer, the podcast whore.
And producer whore. So
yeah. All right, Ken, talk about your shows.
Well, you can see me before this ugly guy in front of me who's got a voice of radio but a face for radio too. We're on at 10 a.m. Central, 10 and 10 in the morning. It's just pure football, not one team in particular. Wednesdays and Sundays, House Hall Report. But Wednesdays, I think Woody and I decided we might take a little hiatus. Sundays at 11 a.m. I think we'll pick up the Wednesday shows right before the draft again. We're just take a small break. And then, of course, you can catch me with Jamie and everyone else on Tuesdays with Driving to the Top Productions for the open mic. And Snoop Van Poop, I got something coming up with him on X and a couple other guys on X. So, you know, I'm not as big of a whore as BA is, but I'm damn near close.
All right. Jamie, go ahead and give your outro. Talk about your shows, who you write for, and everything else.
All right. So you guys can follow me, yours truly, at Bill's Chat One and Bill's Mop, the unbiased journalist at DJ Dog Tags on Twitter X, and thefortball.com, where I write about all sports. Yesterday was my last show of season 3 of the Buffalo Sports Conversation Room. So, but you can still catch me every Tuesday night at 8:00 p.m. on Driving to the Top Productions for when baseball season starts. As Joe Dallio and I will be doing season 3 of the Subway Conversation Show, where we talk Yankees, Mets, and all MLB news. And then every Tuesday night at p.m. you can catch me on Open Sports Night with me, Jeremy, Ken, and the boys from Driving to the Top Productions. And then every Wednesday night at 9:00 p.m. you can catch me and all the crew here on the Huddle Sports Network for NFL Roundtable Talks. And starting in March, late March, early April, we will be doing season 3 of the UFL. Get your popcorn ready for that. Thank you guys very much for listening. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to like, comment, and ring the bell for all notifications. For more content on the Huddle Sports Network, you can visit or you can check us out on TV, Facebook, YouTube, wherever you get your podcast. For all of us here at the Huddle Sports Network, I'm Jamie Mollet, and this has been another episode of NFL Roundtable Talks on the Huddle Sports Network. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you next Wednesday.
And, of course, you can watch me every day, Monday through Friday, noon to 1, talking Detroit Lions and doing our mock drafts like I've been doing ever since the Rams game. I think I'm on mock draft episode number 37. But anyways, that I follow Ken and Ken in the Morning, which is on at 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Eastern. I am 11 a.m. Central, 12 noon Eastern. Then you can watch us. I'm occasionally on Driving to the Top Productions when I'm not on the South Florida Tribune channel, who I write for about the Lions with Inside the Pigskin on Tuesdays. Wednesday night, I'm right here with these guys and whoever else I can get to come on, whether it's Ralph Williams, Adam McNally, Big Rich. We've seen a plethora of people come through here. I wish I could get some of the big guys I used to get on here, but they all have their own shows now, and they're too busy because they run it at the same damn time. Glover Quinn, I'm calling you out. Quinn Cook, it's good to see you here. But that's on my channel, Kneecap Biting with the Motor City Lions. On Facebook, I go live into the channel. The page is the same name as well as the Huddle Sports Network page, event page. On Twitter, I go into Talking Sports 18 on X and also on Rob Hassel's, which is Sir Rocker VWO. Is that right? Vikings World Order? Yep. I'm also live into your Kick channel, which is Ken the Bear Fan, just like it is everywhere else. And of course, wherever BA puts me. Rumble, excuse me. That K messes me up.
Yeah.
It makes me think Kick. And I know it's Ken the Bear Fan. But this has been another episode of the NFL Roundtable Talk. If you came in late, please go back and rewatch it. Don't forget to hit the like. Ring that bell for the notifications wherever any of us are, because that's the only way you're going to see us anytime we go live. Have a great night, everybody. And try every day to be a better person than you were the day before. That's the only way to make the world a better place. It starts right here. Much love, everybody.
And stay
NFT.
Oh, wait, I got to address this. But yes, let's do it, and let's do it right. We're going to say it. Let's say it with our chest.
Okay.
F-T. Back to back.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.